This is Nigeria's first family healthy lifestyle and edutainment radio station, 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the World News. I am Paul Emoghene. Here are the headlines. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo urges Imo State to resist attempts to thwart her peace. Abia State communities give 30-day ultimatum to NDDC over abandoned roads. And United States President Joe Biden sets new United States strategy in Libya. Details shortly. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has admonished Imolites and the Southeast Zone in general to resist attempts by hoodlums to thwart their peace and consequently stall progress and development in the area. Professor Osinbajo made this statement during the commissioning of the 3 kilometers road project in Owerri. Reacting to the level of damage incurred at the federal government institutions, the Vice President described the attack as atrocious and condemnable, noting that an attack on a critical institution of law enforcement is an attack on the security and well-being of the people.
On the critical institutions of law enforcement, police stations and prisons, is an attack on the safety, security, and well-being of the citizens. It is not merely an attack on law and order. It is a mindless attack on the people and the way of life of the people.
The Vice President called on Imo people to reject agents of anarchy that seek to weaponize the frustrations and disconnect of the youths for their own profit.
This violence does not represent the progressive mindedness of the good people of this state and this region. And I call on all of us to come together to resist any attempt to turn the progress and peace that this zone is set to experience to conflict and disruption. The security in this city and the state have been further enhanced, and we're set to strengthen security capacity even more here. The federal government stands with you and the great people of Imo State at this very crucial time.
He commended Governor Hope Uzodimma for the mature manner he handled the situation and assured Imo people and residents that the security of the state has been further enhanced. Still on the issue of insecurity in the state, Imo State Executive Council has condemned in strong terms the barbaric attack on the correctional facility and the police headquarters in the state. This was disclosed by the Commissioner for Information, Declan Emelumba, in the company of the Commissioner for Power, Commissioner for Special Project, Commissioner for Land, and the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Ogwike Nwachukwu, at the Government House Executive Chambers in Owerri. The Commissioner, during his address, commended the federal government for their fast response and urged the security agencies to expedite their investigation by beaming their searchlight on all possible suspects in order to bring the perpetrators to book. He reiterated government's stand that all oil companies operating in the state should key into the state government's vision by identifying with projects in the oil-bearing states, adding that cash distribution to individuals from the oil community will not be recognized by the state government as part of its corporate responsibility to the people. The commissioner also added that a law has been enacted through a new bureau to coordinate the World Bank and other donor agencies in order to have a proper documentation and account of executed projects in the state. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party Imo State chapter has urged Governor Hope Uzodimma to put an end to all forms of attack on police facilities in the state. Speaking with Darling FM, State PDP Publicity Secretary Ogubundu Wadnike, who was reacting to the recent incident in the state, said the present government looked helpless in finding solutions to insecurity. According to him, Governor Uzodimma-led administration has failed in Imo in tackling the security challenges facing the state.
Thank you. The idea is that some of these things answer for themselves. With what has happened in the last few days, in fact, since the beginning of this year, with regards to security and insecurity, it's too clear that the regime has failed in providing safety and security to lives and property in the state. It started with Olu, where there were, bombardments, aerial fights, terrestrial fighting between groups that we later learned to be military operatives of the Nigerian Armed Forces that were deliberately and consciously invited by Senator Uzodimma. But what we are looking at is whatever a particular administration or regime at each point in time does speaks for it. So we are looking at the holistic security tissues and fibers in the state, and it's so unfortunate that it's nothing to write home about.
Wadike called on Governor Uzodimma to demonstrate a sense of responsibility to the duties of his office and the interests of the people.
Should know that issues pertaining to security can never be politicized. You don't toy with them. You go to the extra length. You involve the traditional rulers, involve the local people in the rural areas, encouraging the activities of vigilante groups and so on. Like you rightly observe, for reason that Senator Uzodimma is here to explain, it appears those aspects of provision of security in the state are being undermined, and the results are appearing. The instances of criminality, kidnapping, armed robbery, and all sorts of criminal activities, particularly this very worrisome aspect of terrorist-like attacks coming in the state is really, really worrisome, and we would really call on him to wake up and do something about safety and security to lives and property in Imo State before things get out of hand.
The PDP Publicity Secretary also called on Imolites to continue to be at alert and not relent in providing useful information to the security agencies. A lawmaker representing Emoghene Bano State constituency, who doubles as the deputy majority leader in the Imo State House of Assembly, Honorable Emeka Nduka, has also condemned the attack launched on the Emoghene Bano police station in the state. The Emoghene Bano police station was blown up on Tuesday by suspected hoodlums. Honorable Emeka, who expressed his displeasure in a phone interview with Darlin FM's Chooks Pascal, described the attack as evil, barbaric, and unfortunate, while calling for calm, urging residents of the community to be law-abiding and security conscious.
It's never allowed in any society. I am not happy. The people of the Union are not happy. We have told our people to remain calm, believing that the security agencies will do their job, make the necessary investments so that they will be brought to book this hoodlum. So we are praying that it won't happen again and that the security agencies will do their job.
The lawmaker said that he would work with all key stakeholders to ensure the security of the lives and properties of the people of Emoghene Bano local government area. Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) Kano State has suspended its plans for a 3-day warning strike over alleged plans by the state government to revert to 18,000 naira minimum wage. The National Deputy President of the Union, Najim Yassin, announced the suspension of the strike today, being the same day the strike was scheduled to commence. Meanwhile, NLC's call on the state government had deducted the workers' March salary. According to Najim, the decision to suspend the strike and peaceful protest followed the agreement reached between the Kano State government and the organized labor on Wednesday. The meeting was convened at the instance of Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, with the representatives of the national president of the NLC, Ayuba Waba, and other labor officials. In Abia State, the people of Intiruzo Amiri community and Isiala Intiruzo communities in Obingwa Council of Abia State have handed a 30-day ultimatum to the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, over the abandoned Apunali and Iferife road projects linking the two communities. The people who embarked on a protest march in the area lamented that the huge stones dumped on the roads have continued to cause accidents, with two lives lost already. Leaders of the protest, Adindu Johnson and Henry Ahukana disclosed that the roads have been abandoned since 2016 and tasked the NDDC to direct the construction company handling the two projects to return to the site and complete them without further delay. This is 107.3 Darling FM. If you're just joining us, you are listening to the World News. In the news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo urges Imo State to resist attempts to thwart her peace. Abia State communities give 30-day ultimatum to NDDC over abandoned roads. Still to come, United States President Joe Biden sets new United States strategy in Libya. Still ahead is business and entertainment news. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Welcome back to the World News on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. United States President Joe Biden is set to formulate a new strategy in Libya that differs from the one implemented by former President Donald Trump. Biden hoped to revise the vague and ambiguous discourse adopted by Trump regarding the ambition of retired General Khalifa Haftar to rule the country. Reports accused Haftar's militia of being involved in arbitrary and unlawful killings, enforced disappearances, torture, and recruiting and using children in the conflict. United States National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan issued a statement on 12th of March in which he emphasized ongoing work to tighten accountability measures against any party that seeks to undermine the elections roadmap fixed by the Libyans to hold on 24th December 2021. The United States and the United Nations are hoping for credible elections and providing essential public services to end the conflict in the country. In business news, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Sabo Nanono says Nigeria generated $150 million from the export of coconut oil and its derivatives in 2020. Speaking through its representative, a deputy director at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Bernard Ukata, said that coconut was a major non-oil export foreign exchange earner for Nigeria. He explained that coconut provided livelihood for over 500,000 families, noting that it accounted for 10% of the nation's agricultural exports. He said the produce is expected to generate about $250 million this year. The acting executive director of NIFOR, Celestine Ikwenube, urged the farmers to take the advantage of training to improve the production of coconut to create wealth for themselves and the nation. And finally, in entertainment news, Zara and Doja Cat will release their hotly awaited duet, Kiss Me More, on Friday, 9th of April 2021. The Good Days hitmaker and the Say So star had previously teased the track, and now they have confirmed the official release date by sharing their striking artwork on social media. They had already name-dropped the title of their collaboration recently. Kiss Me More is the next single from Doja's upcoming album, Planet Her. And that ends the World News as produced by Uchoma Sophia Afolabi. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818-732-5104 or send an email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. Stay safe, everyone, and don't forget to wash your hands regularly. Soap is sufficient to deactivate the coronavirus. I am Paul Emoghene. News update is at 5 p.m. Good afternoon.